Illinois, and the stage has been set. Stop number 3 was absolutely packed to the gills, and we had some amazing racers, incredible bikes, and the entire area from Chicago to the 120th out in Milwaukee made a stop at Blackhawk Farms Raceway. This is the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, stop number 4 of this championship series hunt. The crowd yesterday was certainly entertained with some amazing races. The bikes were basically a bike show out there, and a very, very good friend of mine and the title sponsor of the Bagger GP class, Jeff Zielinski, is joining us live in the booth. And Jeff, welcome to South Beloit, my friend.
Thank you, Rob. Pleasure to be here.
It's great to be out here. The action yesterday was intense. We had action on the track, off the track, you name it. People were in the mix. Parts Unlimited Le Mans Corporation brought their whole corporation out for their company picnic. We had thousands of people relishing in this sunset.
It was a hot day, and it was great to see everybody. There was lots of Drag Specialties and Parts Unlimited folks here and their families. Couldn't ask for a better summer day.
It was certainly something to be remembered. Now, you see a little bit of the heat out there. That's the type of conditions we're dealing with here. The intensity of the humidity. These bikes are all fuel injected, though, so it didn't really mess with it the way it would if they were carbureted.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, it was really, really humid yesterday. Just standing in the sun was enough to make you feel uncomfortable. Definitely was nice to take that cold shower when we left. Today, much different story. It's actually got a cool breeze outside. It's still warm. The sun's hot. Not as hazy, not as humid. And that cool air is definitely going to help the bikes run a little bit better, even though they are air-cooled. They're fuel-injected, but having that engine run a little cooler sure does produce a little bit more power.
I tell you what, we got the style check going on right here. The technique, the knee on the ground, all tucked in behind that big bubble of a fairing. And these riders are from Canada, Australia, Maine, California, Ohio. I think we even got some people here from Pennsylvania, if I got to be truthful. That Philadelphia area is strong in talent.
I sure hope so, but I don't recall yesterday. I'll tell you, it was a real hot day yesterday. It was pretty uncomfortable being underneath our tent. We have a 10x20 black tent set up here. We actually have our FXRT in the mix along with all of our trade show display stuff. And I'll tell you, underneath that black, surrounded by black T-shirts and black shoes and black shorts, because we're in the bikers. That's what we do. We were all pretty warm yesterday.
Hey, I got to ask you, is it rumor on the street the Cycle Source Bike Show came in here, brought out a ton of bikes, and did you go home with the top step filling up with that FXR ears?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a bike show guy, but just helping out the crew and bringing my bike in there. Chris loves that bike. He always did. He actually did a feature on it for me last year, so I was real thankful to have that. But I'm not more of the bike show guy. I tried to get everybody else involved, and we actually found an 86 FXRS, and it was really, really clean. So I helped Chris a little bit and said, hey, you know what, this guy deserves some credit. So he took the best FXR, and that's all that matters. We had a good time. So.
Well, anytime you pull out an FXR, you're going to get people's attention, and everybody's going to get all excited. You know, we looked down here on this racetrack, and the tree lines were filled with campers all weekend, people having a great time, and that's the thing we want to kind of instill in everybody. You come out to the event, things are really, really, really kind of a vibe of a party. It's kind of the Sturgis / Daytona / Laconia. A lot of slashes in there, and it's people coming together with great bikes, technology, and innovation. When you go out and look at the pit road out there, the craftsmen that are building these bikes, because it's not guys just bolting on this and that. There's craftsmen building them.
Right. You know, it's a good point, and it's something that I would love to share with everybody. You know, this is our third year being involved. Rob, you and I have been friends for a long time, and we talked about this before it even came to fruition. And to be honest, this race struck me differently than any other one. When I walked around, it felt like a picnic. I mean, it really did. Not just because, you know, it's ironically that Drag had their party yesterday, their company picnic, but we're hanging with our peers, our friends, you know, the industry professionals, and customers alike, and everybody just had a really, really good time. I mean, this is a great racetrack. I've never seen something like this before. There's no bridge to get in, you know, into the track. There's no bridge to go under. So you kind of got to wait for the racers to clear the track so that you can drive in. It was really interesting, but we actually had a really, really good time yesterday. And I'll tell you, anybody that can get out here to the next one, I think the next one's in California, if I'm not mistaken, get out there and check it out. Support the industry, support the racers, and that's what's keeping this industry strong.
I tell you what, the industry is strong. 6th grade classes. Have a look at a couple of the bikes down there in the paddock as we were talking about. These are the Pro Stock Bagger class. Now, the gang in the Pro Stock Bagger, the Metzler Pro Stock Bagger, they're one step below the NAMS Bagger GP. These guys are on their way up. We look at Benny Carlson's bike. This is a Bagger GP bike. Arnie Wells, the #1 plate in Pro Stock. How about Hawk Mazzata's Challenger? Then you got the Sly Fox crew, and the rest of them bringing in titanium, carbon fiber. The primaries are starting to shrink because that's the part that hits the ground, gang. It's not the saddlebags. It's the primary, and we're addressing all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, back in the day, they always said, like guys like PM and things like that, they developed their products on the racetrack, with the drag racers, and that's how the brakes got that much better on street bikes. So this is the proving ground. I mean, you'll see guys like Trask out there developing parts, and the guys at Alloy Art and the engine guys like Fueling, they're all developing parts. Even us. I mean, we did the same thing with the fuel injection along with our pals over at Thundermax. I mean, this is where it's at. If we can make something better, we're going to do it.
I heard you mention that yesterday while you were getting interviewed, that the Thundermax tuning system works together closely with you, and you get rid of all the cam bus, all the craziness that makes these things hard to work on. You made it. You've almost taken us back to the carburetor.
You know what? And I joke all the time. I say if it wasn't Rob pushing me to do it, you did a couple of years ago when you're like, hey, we got to do something because the CAN bus and the BCM, everything's getting overly complicated and it's making racers' lives hell. Hell, to be honest, even the Harley riders are having problems with it. I mean, I know they were having codes. So it's definitely an issue. And, yeah, we came up with a solution on the wiring side. We teamed up with the guys at Thundermax. We actually may be teaming up with another ECM company, maybe 2 more different ECMs so that we can have a variety. Because some people, when they're doing their tuning, they like to have options. So, it makes a big difference. Getting rid of the BCM, get rid of the handlebar controls. There's no codes. There's no computer telling you what you can and can't do. So, so far, I think there's probably 80% of the baggers that are out there have our system in it.
Well, folks, you talk about the baggers out there. I got some of the racers down there. Let's meet some of these superstars of the BRL.
What do I do?
Talk about your name. How'd you go yesterday, Arnie?
We dropped a couple seconds, so doing a little bit faster.
Couple bike issues, but I seen you've got it all sorted, and now you're ready to go.
Yeah, they're working on it right now, so hopefully we'll be ready for the race.
I was out there with you. You look good. You look fast. Looks like you picked up a few seconds too, so I'm excited to see you out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Shane Arbone here. We're at Blackhawk Farms for round 4 of a Bagger Racing League. Yesterday we come off a solid win. We had a good race yesterday with the Trash Turbo for sure, and today is going to be even better. We have nice weather, and hopefully you're all out here and you can come see us rip around.
What's up, everybody? It's Tony from Tucker Speed. We're here at Blackhawk Farms, round 4. It's been a rough weekend for me this weekend, but we've been just charging here in the pits, getting the bike rebuilt and stuff. We're excited to get out there. We're going to be racing with the GP guys today, so I'm excited to be able to maybe mix it up with some of those boys, see what we got. It should be fun. Excited to get out there. Hope we put on a good show for you guys.
Hey, Brian Shields here from Bagger Mayhem Racing. So we're out here at Blackhawk Farms, round 4 today on Sunday. The weather looks good. We're going to go out and race a Bagger GP race, and we're hoping for a great result today. Safe to every competitor out there, and we'll see you on the track.
Hey guys, Hawk Mazzata here with Lloyd's Garage, racing the number 121 Bagger GP, as well as the new Indian Chief. My teammate Josh Baird also run out here today. We had a good day yesterday. Looking forward to today. Even better results. Come on out, check it out. It's going to be a great race and have a good time.
Welcome to BRL round 4 here at Blackhawk Raceway. We got 3 races. Alloy Art, bike number 99, and bike number 1 will be out in Bagger GP on the 99 Mullet. Hopefully looking forward to running up front and trying to get on the podium. That's our goal there. And then we got 2 races on the Pan America. Number 1 bike I'm filling in for Corey Cowan. Got big shoes to fill, but hopefully fight for some wins on that machine in those 2 races. If you're around the area, come out and watch.
Hi guys, it's Steve Chamberlain, SChamberlain5150 on the YouTubes and Instagrams. We're out here for round 4 of Blackhawk Farms, and we're just going to send it today and see what happens.
How you guys doing today? We're out here at Blackhawk Farms Raceway and just getting started here on Sunday. And can't complain, the weather's great and it's going to be a good day.
Hi, I'm Gunnar. This is round 3 of BRL. And I'm just coming off a win from yesterday with the Trash Performance with the turbo. We got the 107 motor in it, ripping it up. Trying to keep up with all the fast guys, Youngblood, Sam. I can't wait for today's race. It's going to be so much fun.
What's up, guys? I hope you're ready for round 4. It's another beautiful day, little cloud cover, but we're here to party on Harleys, baby. Catch us in the Pro Stock Bagger class and the Bagger GP.
I tell you what, talk about one of the personalities down in the paddock. You got Clay Braun. Guy's a barber by day, flies around the world, gets everything done, comes out here. He has battled in the rain. He's a California guy, and he went like a madman at Pitt in that rainstorm. So you never know. Today's sunny and bright out there. Certainly best of luck to him and all the riders that are coming up into NAM's Bagger GP and the Metzler Pro Stock Bagger. That'll kick off things for us today. Then we'll make a move over to our next group. We'll have some Icon Lightweight Twins, the Andrews Big Twin, and, of course, the folks from DP Brakes, Larry Mills and the crew. They've been working all week up at Suburban Harley. He hasn't even been able to break away, so we certainly hope that Larry's having a great day up there. They'll mix it up, and then the final race of the day, the Zippers ATU. It's a run what you brung, Jeff, and you better bring a lot.
Oh, yeah, especially those guys at Zippers. They know how to make horsepower. So I talked to Dan before he came out, and he was hoping to be able to make the trip, but he had some machines go down on him this past week, so he said he wasn't going to be able to make it. But, you know, if anybody knows how to make power, it's those guys. So run what you brung is going to be a real good race. So
one more time, it's the NAM's Bagger GP. That's our feature class. That is the biggest names in the business, and obviously two-time champion Shane Narbone. Icon Lightweight Twins, Arnie Wells is looking to battle up there, but we also have guys like Cody Gilmore. Then you start to mix in Bagna. My guy is crazy fast on a Buell. Andrews is up next with the Andrews Big Twin. Larry Mills DP Brakes FS Cup, Zippers, and, of course, Metzler Pro Stock Bagger. Superbikes are wrapping up right now. That means that first, second, and third call have been thrown out there. That's the big, big class, and we're going to have one of the biggest lineups of baggers ever. The NAM's Bagger GP is going to look like Sturgis downtown, basically, when they head into turn number 1.
Main Street right here in Beloit, I'll tell you.
Speaking of Sturgis, we're all going to be down there. Our super good friend of ours, Chris Callan, he'll be inducted into the Sturgis Hall of Fame. I'm so proud of that guy. Yeah, I was great when I heard that this year, and it's going to be a good time. I'll be there for sure. There every year, so we'll be posting up in the lodge for sure. Normally, one of the crazy things, you end up riding a bike there, shipping 10 bikes out there, probably selling 4 of them, coming home. What are you building next? Well, every year it's something different. We do a build off called the Throwdown. It's a friend's throwdown with Brian Clock, myself, Paul Yaffe, Jason Mook from Deadwood Custom Cycles, Nick Trask, and Curtis Hoffman are the original 6, and we did something different every year. We invite some friends along. This year we allowed anybody to build whatever they wanted. We haven't really talked about the particulars, but I'm building something with a 1961 panhead motor in it, and I can tell you it's going to be very different for sure. Last year I built a 79 chopper, shovelhead chopper, and I built the FXRT last year. You know what? These guys live in their motorhomes out here. They live in them. MTV has cribs. The BRL, we got the race paddock. Let's go down and check out how they do it. Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Gunnar Willette, racing for Trash Performance. Come check out our crib. Come on up, you got the normal beds. They pull out the beds, but we usually hang out here, chill, get ready, get the AC going. Got the camera guy. This is my boy. What's up, buddy? So, when we look over here, open this up, that's where all the miles happen, right in here. They drive all the time. Crib? Yeah, so I'm showing them the crib. A little messy, but what do we got going on over here? We got our sloppy joes for lunch already in here cooking. Is it show where our hospitality is for the brunch? Not yet. We haven't made it there yet. We're not there yet. Show them around. A little bit cramped for the race weekend. A little cramped. Let's see what we got in the fridge. Oh, we got $1 brownies. Can't go wrong with those. Sprite. Woo! Come on the back, we'll show you the bathroom. Nice. Shower bathroom, can't go wrong. Got the bedroom where the magic happens. We can't tell anybody about that. We're gonna get a little sneak peek. All right, let's take you out back.
Show them the hospitality setup.
You wanna see the hospitality setup? All right, let's go. Let's bring you out back. So this is the outside of the rig. Everything Trask has is all blacked out. Everything is flat black. It's gotta have it, gotta have it. So you got the race bike, my race bike, Shane's race bike. Got the mechanics, they're working on stuff. I really don't know, so I'm just gonna keep walking through. This is our race trailer. All the bikes happen, all our spare parts. We got spare everything. Everything we got spare of. Go on through. Got the leathers just sitting. Come on down. Got a little family aspect. This is the best part. It's about the families. It's about the time. We just finished breakfast a couple minutes ago. Everybody's full. I don't know where they are. Probably running around now with full bellies. They're ready to go. But we got the whole grill set up. The grill's even still going. We're ready to cook. Hell yeah, so this is our crib, and this is how we race every weekend. We go in and out of this truck, everything's brought right here.
Well, I tell you, Nicky Trask knows how to throw a party, don't you?
I'll tell you, Nicky Trask makes way too much money. Jeez Louise.
He's doing a great job.
My man knows how to party.
I tell you what, folks, we're going to take a break. We're going to make sure that the folks that support us get a little support as well. When we come back, we'll get ready to go with the opening race of the BRL Stop number 4. We'll be back in moments here, live from Blackhawk Farms Raceway.
Nelson right out front, dominating the main event.
It's the world champion.
This stadium's going nuts.
Give it up for your brother Ryan.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
Tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Trask Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
Well, they wrap up some qualifying here. Check that. This is a super sport race, and this is Rob Bitus, Jeff Zielinski. We're live at the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. Stop number 4, Blackhawk Farms, South Beloit, Illinois. We're about an hour and 20 minutes south of the 120th anniversary. Harley-Davidson debuted a brand-new CVO bike. Nick Trask buys one. Guess what we did with it yesterday? We put it out on the racetrack. So I think we had another first there. The 121-inch variable cam timing, little something new. The infotainment center.
Yeah, the whole fairing and front fender. It's got inverted front end. It's got different saddlebags.
Big brakes.
Yeah.
I think they're starting to pay attention to what the consumers are going. Now all they got to do is get rid of some of those cam buses, let us tune them up a little bit, and life will be good.
That'll never happen.
Thank God they've got you to make sure we can do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know if they like me that much, but I know the factory does everything they can to try to keep us on our toes.
I can tell you this much. We in the BRL love you, so don't worry about being liked by somebody that doesn't know you like we do.
I appreciate that, Rob. We love you guys, too.
So the world of bagger racing obviously came about kind of crazy about 4 years ago, and people are like, well, where's it at now? What's the big difference? We found out ways to make them more durable. We found out ways to increase the lean angles, to increase the travel of suspension. I don't believe in any time in the custom bike world that the motorcycles actually became better, safer, faster. They handle better. They stop better. They're even more comfortable when you start running tall suspension rather than slamming them on the ground. This is like the biggest craze that ever happened.
Yeah, they're way more powerful. That M8 motor does things that no other motor has been able to do, and reliably. So, the only thing that remains to be seen, and I hate to be the guy that brings down the parade, is we're hearing some rumors that the older that the M8 gets, they tend to break down more catastrophically. From what we're hearing with higher mileage bikes, we've heard a couple of people, at least I have personally, where they get up in mileage and Harley knows there's some weaknesses in the heads and things like that, like bolt tensile strength. Things are giving way. So it'll be interesting to find out if we see any of that kind of stuff as the M8 continues to mature, because it hasn't been around terribly long. So
no, you think about the Evo, the shovels, the twin cam that came after that. Obviously, what we're hearing, and we talked with Joe Hupp from Suburban Harley, he got the bikes in. Trask obviously wanted one for a very important reason. What do I have to do to get this turbocharger? Can you imagine what that's going to do to a 121-inch cubic motor with supposedly a lot more technology in the cam? I think we're looking at possible super bike speeds.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's guys out there getting 200 horsepower out of an M8, and it doesn't even have to have a turbo. So it's crazy powerful. There's a lot of things you can do, so it's going to be interesting.
And one of the things I want to talk about as well, because obviously I feel they're a massive part of our series, the crew over at Indian. Now you have the Challenger, liquid cooled, single shock, upside. This is all stock. That bike comes with an aluminum swing arm on it right from the factory.
I think the whole frame is aluminum, wasn't it, at one point?
I don't know what if you were looking at the two. How do you even? That's kind of brand new technology.
I think Indian, I know the purists, including myself, I'm fortunate to have an Indian as well as, obviously Harleys, but I think Indian has surpassed the technology-wise, no, hands down. I mean, that Challenger, water-cooled, and the power that it puts out stock is just hands down. It's incredible. So those hats off to those guys in Minneapolis or wherever they are, St. Paul or something like that. St. Cloud or whatever.
Yeah,
but
they got a cool name like that.
They got their stuff going on, and I'll tell you, the guys at Lloyd's can make those things hum, so they do a pretty incredible job.
Yeah, we were down there talking with Tim Sutherland and Lloyd himself the other day, and they were talking about some of the upgrades that they're doing, and what they develop out here is, and here's the difference between massive corporations and let's call them small businesses. They see an opportunity, they fix it, and it's for sale. We're not going to discuss it, send it through the boardroom, make sure a focus group looks. They fix it because we need. you mentioned that you and I started talking about this after the very, very, very first bagger race ever. I'm at the airport, and all anybody could talk about was, we've got to find a way. I'm like, we need you, brother. We need you.
Yeah, you literally called me from the airport, and I was driving to the airport to go on vacation with my wife. And I'm like, honey, I got to work on this. So I literally got on it right away with the help of some of the guys that are all part of the BRL. We got a start. We got off to something.
I think everybody's interested in what you're doing because it's the critical, most important part of this. You're talking about building power, but if you can't have it last, if it shuts off because you took the turn signals off or something, you're going to have a rough day at the track. Then you got the Pan Americans and the FTRs. No one thought the Pan American was going to be a race bike, and we're looking at it. We're like, well, it has a pretty bulky fairing, but it does have the good suspension, the ground clearance, the mid-mount control stock, the linkage rear suspension, the big brakes.
Don't forget that it's fast.
And as we took them apart, that's all we did. 126 horsepower, big torque, the way they handled. You want to talk about a switchblade? The Harley Davidson Pan American is that bike.
Oh, yeah, the ground clearance alone. I mean, when you look at an FTR or, like you said, a Pan America, the ground clearance is what you want for racing. I mean, if you notice, the baggers are jacking those things up so that you can take that turn at that angle. The Pan America's already there. So I know some of the guys that have them, guys at Alloy Art, they definitely got it dialed in. I mean, there's plenty of power, plenty of ground clearance. You got the right, forward controls or mid controls, I guess you call them. Sets, as they say on the metric bike world, but the FTR too, they're just crazy fast, crazy power.
Well, we wanted to get this race wrapped up so that we have a full opportunity to show you the entire Bagger Racing League, NAMS Bagger GP, and of course the Metzler Pro Stock, and we're going to fill up this grid coming up quickly with those baggers. And little aerial view here, you see that the campers, they had a chance to get out of the heat. Our paddock area for the whole BRL was in our own separate field so that people would come out and visit us. We saw Trask Cribs. He has the chef out there. Gunner eating like royalty out there. And
funny we didn't get that invite for breakfast.
You know what? I wasn't going to say anything because he's friends of both of ours, but definitely. We'll go see him after this.
Yeah.
But again, gang, this is Blackhawk Farms Raceway, stop number 4 of the BRL. We do have one more race coming up in November, and we will be at Willow Springs on Big Willow. And you can see now the French Canadians are down here. Sam Guerin. Sam cleaning off the foot pegs. They're getting ready to get into the attack position and be part of the action here. Now this will be Bagger GP and Metzler Pro Stock. My buddy Kenny's coming in to sit on here. He'll be joining us shortly, and we'll get him up on the air. And he's going to be handling our podium duties today as he'll be down there getting the word from the top 3, and it's going to be some really good action. This first podium is really going to be crazy. We're going to have 2 complete podiums. We're going to make sure everybody gets an invitation to talk, to thank the sponsors, to find out. Here we are, gang. Round number 4, Clay Braun. Air punching. You got to be air punching.
I'll tell you, yesterday I was down there right where these guys get onto the track and watching how close that race was yesterday. If there wasn't a mechanical problem, man, it was neck and neck for 3 laps. Some serious competition out there. So it would be great to see how they run today. Maybe a little bit cooler out there on the track, so these bikes may have a little bit more pep in their step.
Oh, look, there's the NAMS display as we talk right there with the lighting, the bar fix. You're that close to the track. You guys are literally the gateway to the racetrack.
If we didn't have the backdrop on our 10x20 tent, we would be smelling some serious exhaust and race fuel all day.
So Sam Guerin here, he's French-Canadian, making sure he's got his GoPro tuned on, and he really is an interesting individual. Always has a smile on his face. We know he races some super bikes up in Canada, but he joined us in Milwaukee a year ago. When we were there, he had some troubles with the motor. Guess what we did? Gave a new motor. Finally, just gave a new bike.
That.
Guess what he did?
He won. He won, yeah.
So he's like, if you guys are going to give me good enough equipment to win, I'm coming back. Clay Braun, that's what we were talking about earlier. He went to Pittsburgh, pouring down rain on Sunday, and smoked them. Arnie Wells is right there. Tony Tucker up in the house. Roger Smock in there. You look at Benny Carlson back there, Chopsky catching all his action, and we're now broadcasting live through the whole paddock here.
That's pretty incredible. I'll tell you, Chopsky, the photographer extraordinaire, man, he gets some incredible shots, so hats off to him today.
Chris Rivas was our most famous drag racer. Now we got Roger Smock that's joined us. He comes from Meadville, Pennsylvania. And you see the background behind them. The boys are coming down. Here comes the crew. And this is the sighting lap as we get ready for round number 4. Blackhawk Farms, NAM's Bagger GP, our premier class, and of course, the Metzler Pro Stock Bagger. What better sight in the world than a thundering herd of baggers heading down on their sighting lap into turn number 1. Kenny, you've been in the action all day. You're now a seasoned-up bagger announcer. This is your second day, so now you're not a local anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because I'm sitting up timing the scoring in the tower and everything else, and I'm looking at some of the names and I'm recognizing them from the bagger races. They might be racing baggers in some of the other CCS Superbike classes, but they may be racing some other motorcycles that they brought along with them as well. So yeah, I'm getting to recognize some more of the names. Obviously, it's when I'm here all day for 3 days looking at these names, some of them start to become more and more familiar. But yeah, it's been a fantastic weekend. I'm really super stoked about the Bagger Racing League being here with these guys, and some of these shots from the drone are just ridiculous.
One of the things that we really wanted to try to do is just to give you the overall view of what you can experience when you come out here. We know, and I'm going to, you say sometimes crazy numbers and people like, I'm not sure. I believe the number is.
Look at this paddock right here. This is that BRL paddock. It's awesome.
I've heard 9 million FL machines that have been made with an 09 and up configuration of frames. So let's say that kind of number. There's so many of those people that love the bike show, love the stunt shows, they love the technology, but we haven't been able to bring them a race to their area. What we do, we appreciate you all coming out, because you certainly came out in force yesterday, and you come out and see what you can bolt onto your bike. The frames are stock. The front end, they're a little different, swing arm, subframe. All the body work is traditional body work. Now on Sam's bike, I don't believe he's used any carbon fiber. He lightened up the front fender just by taking it off.
Hey, that's the way to go. You know what? I want to give a shout out to Kenny. Kenny, it was great to finally get to work with you in the booth today. I just want to, because I'm a jokester, I want to embarrass you for pronouncing our name wrong yesterday as well.
Absolutely.
I figured it'd give me an opportunity to do that. But no, great job withstanding that heat, man. I don't know how you do it.
I had two choices, right? It's either a long A or a short A, one of the two. So I just, I honestly, one of my tricks is I just go back and forth. I do it, so I'm right 50% of the time.
Can't go wrong.
Well, they're coming back in. They'll get staged up. They'll get lined up. We had a tough one yesterday with Jesse Janish out there, a big crash for the number 77 on the fueling bike. We know that he's in our prayers. He's in our thoughts. He's going to be fine, but we really want to make sure that we give him a shout-out.
And honestly, check your Instagram or Facebook accounts. Anybody that's listening, there is a GoFundMe page for him to give him a hand. Just started a new job. Could use all the help you can get. We donated this morning, and we hope a whole bunch more people do. And here we go.
Look at the wheelies. Look at the traction coming off, but right away, immediately, that Trask turbo bike with Shane Narbonne and Gunnar Wallet. So Trask now is running first and fifth in this class. Here comes Benny Carlson. He's going to work on the number 121 of Hawk Mazzata.
Yeah, Carlson's got a lot of local experience. He is a local guy out of Milwaukee, so he's got a lot of track time here. We'll see him bring his race bikes out throughout the season just to get them dialed in, and a couple of his motorcycles are really, really fast here, so this is going to be an interesting race. Big class.
Massive class, one of the bigger bagger classes we've ever seen, and it looks wonderful coming through the tree line here. The drone's picking up. There's going to be battles all over the track. We're going to do our best to make sure we get them. We'll send it down to the podium. We'll hand out the hardware. You'll be down there handing out the NAMS awards. Kenny's going to be handling the podium. I can't wait to see who fills those top 3 steps. We're only on lap number 1, and here they go. Shane Narbonne, Hawk Mazzata, and look at Benny Carlson going to work.
I'll tell you, Benny for Team Suburban, he's killing it right now. He's got some power, and he's super stoked. I talked to him quite a bit yesterday.
Oleg Payek putting in some good work, and he's on the Alloy Art Road Glide. They call it the mullet. Benny Carlson starting to put some pressure on Hawk Mazzata.
Yeah, there's some really good pressure here. These guys, and you mentioned Oleg. Oleg had some amazing races yesterday. If you get a chance to watch them live, make sure you go back and watch the rebroadcast and stuff. But Benny Carlson's going to put some really good pressure here on Oleg. Hawk Mazzata's there. Shane Narbonne on that big bike leads the way. He went a 1:15.09 from a dead stop on that lap. This is going to be a pretty hot race.
I got to think we're going to be in the 112s, even the 111s maybe by the time they really get their flow, and especially if Benny, now you're starting to put some pressure on Hawk. Hawk's going to have to ride the race line, but be cautious that he doesn't leave an opening. So that could actually slow these two down and let the number 1 machine of Shane Narbonne. Narbonne is going after his 3rd consecutive championship. He is in that championship hunt. Jeff, you see why? He's out front once again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Nick and the team, those guys with those turbos, they just know how to dial those puppies in. They are running so sweet. And I'll tell you, the Indian too, man. Look at that thing. It's right behind them, and they're going neck and neck. Benny's getting closer and closer.
He looks like a praying mantis coming up on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that they were mentioning yesterday in a lot of the post-race ceremonies was that motorcycle engine is actually significantly smaller than the others, but because of the turbo, that's what makes it so much more powerful. So they were really, really proud of the fact that they had a much smaller motorcycle, but able to be so competitive.
Yeah, we set the rules at 107 cubic inches. You could put a turbo on, not the 131 the way some of these bikes are. And the Indians, I think, come in around 118. That was a little mistake right there by Hawk. I think he tipped it up a little bit earlier. And, Jeff, that is going to allow Benny Carlson one more time to try to crawl up into that saddlebag airflow.
He's trying, but I'll tell you, it looks like that Indian's got a little bit more power right now. It'll be interesting to see on the next straightaway and how he takes his turns. But, this sport is like it's ever who makes that mistake and who can capitalize on it. So we'll see what happens.
Seems like life. It's just mistakes. It makes you have a much better life. And right now, Benny Carlson is trying to live his best life. Hawk Mazzata, though, holding him off. And Hawk is in this championship hunt on the Lloyd's Garage Indian Challenger.
I was just going to say the Lloyd's Garage Indian Challenger, it looks like it has a little bit of torque coming off the corners, or Hawk's able to get on the gas just a little bit sooner than Benny is. The bike looks a little bit more stable than Benny's, so he's able to get the power to the ground a little bit sooner, and he's able to keep that lead.
Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you, gang. That's a black, white, orange, and purple bike. My man Joe likes adding a little pop to the program.
Yeah, he's all about the colors. I'll tell you, I talked to Joe quite a bit, and he's such a nice guy, and they do a great job at their dealership in Wisconsin. And he's always looking for an edge, and he's always looking for something to make it better. And he believes in the sport, and he believes in the BRL. So that's really what it's all about.
Speaking of believing in the sport and believing in the BRL, we have one of our biggest fans, Paula Fox and Lori Kruger. They were here at the grand opening kickoff on Thursday. They were here Friday. They were here Saturday. And Paula and Lori are back with us today. Man, it's good to have them here.
Yeah, that was really fun. The memorial lap and the fan lap and all kinds of that stuff was awesome. We're going to be approaching halfway here next time by. A little wave from Narbonne as he goes past one of the
it's like Tony Tucker.
Yeah, one of the slower riders there, just not having the best day, so he's dipping off into the paddock.
Yeah, Tony's had a tough day. Came from Salt Lake City, Utah, had a crash. They put a whole new front end on the bike. Couldn't figure out what was wrong. He had bent one of the cartridges. They fixed that. Then they had it for different things. It's crazy, and I feel terrible, but what a competitor. He worked ferociously to get that bike sewed to paddock. I'm glad he got out for a few laps, but we're heartbroken that he's had such a tough thing. He was in that championship hunt.
Yeah, it looks like I'm thinking who went into the pits. It may have been one of the Suburban bikes. If I'm not mistaken.
It was that blue motorcycle.
Yeah,
that was either Tony Tucker or that was Arnie Wells on the number 1, the defending champ. You look at it, it's Narbonne, NAMS, Bagger GP, Hawk Mazzata, Benny Carlson, all NAMS Bagger GP. Oleg. But Gunnar Olette and Sam Guerin are in the Metzler Pro Stock class, and for these guys to be able to crack the top 5 and 6, he's got a future in the NAMS Bagger GP. They're chasing your championship.
Heck yeah, man! I'll tell you, it's pretty impressive. It looks like we got a pretty good margin now behind these guys, so it goes to shows where the power is. And like you were saying before, with a smaller displacement and a turbo, you should be able to get the same kind of performance out of a larger displacement. But it looks like Tucker, yeah, he's in the pits. Shame he's had a string of bad luck this weekend.
Yeah, they do a great job. They do podcasts. He has a dealership. I feel terrible because he has to shut down the store when he comes racing, but he said it's almost fun to put that up. We've got a couple riders that are now going to lap down. It looks like Roger Smock, Benny Carlson, and Hawk Mazzata thread the needle, make their way around Meadville, Pennsylvania's Roger Smock. So round number 4, Blackhawk Farms, Narbonne, Mazzata, Carlson, all NAMS Bagger GP. Oleg in the NAMS Bagger GP. Gunnar Olette and Sam Guerin. French-Canadian against the the Cougar Killer, they call him out there. He took us on a tour of his cribs earlier, so we know he's living right for sure.
Exactly. I'll tell you what a cribs that was.
So we see the gate still, riders waiting to come in because this racetrack, you cross it on your way in.
Yep.
And speaking of crossing, I think that Shane Narbone's looking to cross off another win here. And if he's able to do that, that'll be round 4. He will have picked up 3 of those wins. Race number 2 in Pittsburgh in the rain, he didn't exactly have the kind of outing he was hoping for. Here comes the pack up on a bunch of riders.
Yep, white flag lap this time by. We were talking about the fact we had to be in the 12s to be able to control the pace today, and there you go, Shane Narbone running in the 12s.
12:8:52. So that kind of give some sport bike guys cause for caution. I think that if he's got that big road glide running down in the 112s, I mean, what kind of lap time would that put him in a proper class out there?
Yeah, I mean that put you dead square in the middle of the middleweight super sport, middleweight super bike race. So yeah, a lot of the 600cc motorcycles, they're struggling to get into the 12s this weekend. So it's fast.
He's doing a great job, and he always has. And we have our eyes set out there. I believe we are about to wrap this bad boy up. Here's the crazy thing. You guys are both going down to the podium. You're handing out the hardware. You're doing the interviews. Guys are leaving me all alone up here in the damn studio. I know. I'm
sorry, Rob.
You've been great. You've been fantastic. You'll be down there, but I believe the number 1 machine is coming down that front straight. He's got that thing up on boost.
There he goes.
And there's the checkered flag. Shane Narbone on the Trask Turbo. Our defending champ picks up another win, his 3rd of this 4-race series.
Hats off to Nick Trask and the team. What a great job those guys did.
A couple of other riders there. Steve Chamberlain, one of our favorites. Of course, we go with the 717, Emilio Jamirez. He's our international kind of rider out there. Comes from Buffalo, New York. A couple other riders come across the line. There's Oleg Pinechek back in the number 4 spot on the Alloy Art, the mullet. Gunnar Olette puts in the win in Metzler Pro Stock. Roger Smock makes his way across the line. That's number 428. BRL stop number 4 of the Blackhawk Farms Raceway, the Bagger Racing League. Brian Shields makes his way across the line. Rider 17, Boardman, Ohio, comes across the line on the hard drive bike. There's Craig Braymiller. He's our rider rep. Looks after everybody's best wishes here at all the races, and it's great to have Craig Braymiller, get another Buffalo native. Has that snap-on job during the day, and BRL racer on the hot weekends. So again, we're going to have the podium celebration. We're going to hand out the hardware, and round number 4 has been put in the books. We got Narbone, Mazzata, Benny Carlson, Oleg Payek's up in the number 4 spot. Gunnar Olette wins Metzler Pro Stock. Sam Guerin is 2nd, and rounding out the podium in Metzler Pro Stock is Arnie Wells. Clay Braun will finish 4th. Brian Shields is up there in that NAMS Bagger GP Class D Boardman rider. Great to have him with us on that hard drive road glide. They make their way down off the racetrack, and they're going to head over to the paddock. Gang, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have a couple of podiums for you. NAMS Bagger GP and Metzler Pro Stock. We'll be back with more from Blackhawk Farms in just a moment.
I got Benny Carlson. Ready to start interviews here. Ready to start.
That's Nelson right out front, dominating the main event. NFA is the world champion. This stadium's going nuts. Give it up for your brother Ryan.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
Tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Let's go down to the podium and find out just how this is going on.
Yeah, hey, thanks, guys. Down here with the third place rider, Benny Carlson, on this Sly Fox Harley Davidson. Nice ride, man. Able to get up to third today. Well done. Yeah, it was good. We kind of just stayed there. Had a little bit of bike issue kind of midway through, but all in all, we're coming out. We're walking out safe. It was a fun weekend. The track's great, obviously. Suburban Motors, Harley Davidson, Sly Fox, Drag Specialties, Road Glide was working great. I wish we had more for him, but hats off to Hawk and to Shane, and we'll go from there. Some local experience goes a long way here.
Yeah, but even it was surprising. They had good lines that I've never been on, and I just think there's different lines for when I was on a 600 compared to a Harley. So it's a learning weekend for me as well, but hats off to the crew, hats off to the team, hats off to the spectators for coming out today, and appreciate all the support.
Give it up for Benny Carlson on the Sly Fox Harley Davidson. We get over here to talk to the Lloyd's Garage rider on the Lloyd's Garage Indian, Hawk Mazada. Nice ride, man. I know you've struggled a little bit with from the practice day to now. Talk a little bit about how you guys have been able to overcome that and get back to the podium.
Yeah, you know, this track's challenging, period. It's a rider's track. It really tests your craft, and it's good for me, I'll tell you that. But no matter what, these boys work so hard. The Lloyd's Garage guys, thank you so much. Tim and Lloyd for hiring me to pilot this beautiful motorcycle. Josh and Josh, I got the best crew around. They're the funnest guys. I mean, it makes the weekends, if they're up or down, it makes them up no matter what, which is huge mentally. Thanks to my wife, always supporting me with our little one. And, you know, Benny and Shane, man, it's really fun to be able to race against such huge talent. Because no matter what, it's like I trust these guys. You can bang bags, and it's all good. I struggled a bit today, but we brought it home. Good job, Shane. He's tough to catch.
You mentioned your family. How important is it for you to have your wife and kid here as you go through all of this?
It's become important. I always did my own thing when I was racing. Now I'm 41. I'm old, and to be able to get off the bike if you're frustrated, look at them, look at that little baby. It's like all is good. I'm blessed, you know, just thankful. And shout out to Jesse Janish and the fueling crew. Hopefully he'll heal up, and sorry those guys couldn't be here with us.
Give it up for Hawk Mazada, everybody. Second place on the Lloyd's Garage Indian. Where's Shane? Here we go. Shane Narbone, hey, nice ride, man. You've been pretty dominant all weekend on this turbo bike. Tell everybody about the motorcycle and your team and how you're able to repeat on the podium here this weekend.
Yeah, of course. It was a great day. You know, we're out here for one reason, to prove that a turbo 107 motor, that's what we got in it. So now to have it turboed and race with these guys, you know, a lot of people don't think the turbo is a proven point of power, but it is, and we just proved it today, you know, with this track being so rider friendly, or not rider friendly, but you got to be more technical. We just proved it on a turbo bike. So hats off to Nick and their whole crew, you know, all the guys back at the shop that don't get to be here, but I'm sure they're watching. Thank you guys for all your hard work back there, and hopefully in a couple of months we can wrap this thing up in Willow Springs.
Give it up for Shane Narbone, everybody.
A shout out to Jason Farrell, man, and the whole Pirelli crew. they really stepped up on board this year with putting these tires on this Harley, and they're standing for it. And of course, you know, everybody else that's done this, Forest R Leathers, and all these guys, Moots, Ron, Manny, Trevor, Gunner, the chefs over there. But thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's get everybody up here on the podium, get some good photos.
Well, the podium down there getting ready to go. We got Shane Narbone. We've got Hawk Mazzata.
Give it up for third place, Mr. Benny Carlson out of McKeegan, Wisconsin on that HD Pan American. Second place to the Lloyd's Garage Indian out of Lowell, North Carolina. To your winner, Mr. Shane Narbone from Phoenix, Arizona on the HD
Run this as long as we can, and then I'll make the announcement to go to commercial.
Road Glide. Hey, I'm just going off of what they wrote, all right?
Well, there's the podium. There's the top three. And, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Metzler Pro Stock Bagger Podium coming up next.
Nelson right out front, dominating the main event. Winnipeg is the world champion. This stadium's going nuts. Give it up for Rodney Brother Ryan.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
A tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Trans Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
Rob Byte is back live with the BRL. We're down on the podium here. This is stop number 4, the Bagger Racing League. Metzler Pro Stock Bagger just finished up, and we're going to hand out the hardware and hear from the top 3 in the class. Would like to start off with the rider that finished in the number 3 class. I'd like to now bring up, if you would, Mr. Arnie Wells. Arnie, come up here and join me, if you will. Arnie. So Arnie's here. He's our defending champion in Metzler Pro Stock Bagger. Finished 3rd today. It's another podium for you. You got the ship going the right way.
Yeah, today we were pushing really hard, and I got up behind Sam, and I was pushing. I just couldn't grab any front brake, and so I sent her off-road for a second. But sorry, Joe.
Put a little motocrosser in there, huh?
Yeah, you got a little squirrely.
It was a great ride for you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
The guys over at Suburban Motor Harley Davidson, they've been great. Bridgestone tires, they've been awesome, super grippy. Thank you guys. Legend Suspension, all of my friends and family and all of the fans that came out to support this. There's more sponsors, but I'm forgetting them right now. So.
Tell you what, you've done a great job. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Arnie Wells finishing 3rd over here. Sam Guerin, one of our French-Canadian riders here that made the trip down. He joined us last year at Milwaukee, and he's been at every round since. Congratulations on an outstanding ride.
Thank you very much, Rob. It was a tough race. I went in the gravel, so I lost Gunner and the white bike, the GP bike. So I had to work a little harder, and I broke the exhaust manifold. So it was kind of distracting, but I did everything I could to bring back the bike and to be with you here on the box. So I'd like to thank Original Garage Moto, Primo Harley Davidson, Silver Walks, BRL for sure, Speed and Strength, Revolution Performance, and NTC. Randy did an awesome job. The tires, Bridgestone was amazing all weekend. So thank you very much, all the fans, and you, Rob, BRL, everyone. It's perfect.
Sam Guerin finished the number 2 spot here in the Metzler Pro Stock class, and the crowd goes wild. Let's talk to the winner, Gunnar Olette. Gunnar came across the line in the 1st place on the Trask Turbo bike. So that's 2 for this young man this weekend. Congratulations on a great weekend here at Blackhawk Farms.
Oh, thank you. I can't thank my team enough. Everybody back in Arizona, the whole team that's making this possible, all the customers that are here supporting us. I can't thank you guys enough. We're running a 107 motor turbo. It's so reliable. It's like always there. It's never let me down. It's just, I can't wait to put one on my road bike. I want to get one going, but I don't know. But I can't thank the boys at Trask enough. Nick, Brian, Moots, Manny, Ron, all of them, Shane for helping me, everybody that's giving me pointers, and everybody back home that's watching me too. I can't do it without the support from everybody, and I really got to thank Trask Performance for that.
I tell you what, folks, Trask Performance, if you want to make sure you got proven performance, they went 4 for 4 this weekend. That's the way to do it. We're going to hand out the hardware here, and to do that, I have our Grand Marshallette. Presenting the 3rd place trophy to Arnie Wells is Paula Fox. She will now be presenting the 2nd place trophy, and that is going to go to Sam Guerin, our French-Canadian rider. Great to have him down here on the Original Garage Road Glide. And Paula has one more trophy to hand out to the Metzler Pro Stock winner. I tell you what, Blackhawk, how about a nice round of applause for Gunnar Olette. We're down here, Pro Stock Bagger class, the action, the excitement, and we've got 2 more exciting big-time races to go. And as they get ready to go, you can see the top 3 in the Metzler Pro Stock Bagger class. Gang, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll set the stage for the rest of the day here. Blackhawk Farms, this is the BRL stop number 4.
Nelson right out front, dominating the main event.
It's the world champion. This stadium's going nuts. Give it up for Scotty Brothers Ride.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
Tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Trans Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
Man, those guys knew how to have a good time, and they certainly showed everybody what's going on in the world of having a good time, and that was the Mustangs crew, and it was really an honor to be down there. They had the Pittsburgh rounds of the BRL, and speaking of that, our YouTube channel fired up, and we want to make sure that if you want to check out any of the action, you join us. We're doing our best to bring you the action behind the scenes. We want to make sure that we do everything we can to bring the racers and the sponsors some recognition for all the hard work. Obviously, it's a long, intense series. You travel from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here to Blackhawk Farms in Illinois, and then we make the big drive out to California. And that'll be coming up in November. So these guys and gals are going to have a little bit of time to go back, charge the batteries, get all excited and pumped up about what is going on. And when you do get excited, you know, the gang from Icon joined us day one, and I'm talking about right out of the gate. Kurt Walters said, hey, we got Boonie bikes, and we want to show you what that's all about. So the Icon Boonie Bike Bonanza, it happened today, gang. It happened, and it was a jam. Let's look at some of the action here from the Icon Boonie Bike Bonanza. You know, you thought that Gunner was the only one with the cool crib. Oh, no. We got a bunch of cool cribs out in the paddock. Let's have a look at one of our other awesome setups here.
Welcome to my rig, guys. It's Clay Braun, repping number 951 of Riverside, California. We're running Pro Stock. I want you guys to come inside and check out our race rig with Ale Art and RPM Moto. First time you come over here, you got the nice little Bluetooth speaker set up. Got some cabinet spaces. I'm gonna turn this into a microwave when we get back because, you know, I like Hot Pockets, pizza rolls, who doesn't? State-of-the-art clock, Harley Davidson. It don't work, but it looks good. We got the LED lights. It's not LED, but they're lights. Come this way. We got gas. We got boxes. Got a whole bunch of parts. You know, if someone needs something, if they don't got it, we got it. I don't know what Chamberlain's doing, but he had a whole mess of beers last night, and we're just hanging out thinking about racing. Let's step over him. I'll show you some more. We got a whole bunch of totes. We got some air. We got a whole bunch of oils right here from Motul. My favorite one is the banana scented one. It is my favorite. And last but not least, man, got some feeling pieces right there. Can't tell you what's in there because it'll ruin the surprise, but man, those things are hot and ready. Come on. We'll see you guys today.
Clay Braun's a tour guide and a barber. He ain't the only one with the cool crib down there. I know we got more in the bank. Let's have another look at the BRL behind the scenes in another BRL Cribs section.
What's going on? This is Jake Masters. Welcome to my crib. Come on in. This is Joe's truck. It's pretty factory. We've got a couple beds where we all sleep. Breakfast went down this morning, as you can see. Eating. A little bit of juice, secret juice, fast juice. Cookies, good for energy. Bathroom. Got the fridge. We've got that thing loaded always. Thanks to Joe and the family. Sick. That's pretty much the inside, but we'll take you out. We'll go check the rest out. Come on out. We're at Blackhawk Farms, so we got a pretty good area. The track is literally all the way around us. It's pretty cool. I'll take you into the trailer. Come on in. That's Benny's suit. Watch your step. Come in. We've got all the race gas. We need as much race gas as we can get. All our suits are hung up individually. We've got chairs in here so we can all come in, get ready. This is pretty much where we talk to Benny and Haslam about any questions we got. Style, position, bike setup. We all sit here and chat. It's really good. New team shirts, which we're running right now. Tools, wheels, we got everything in here. Literally, you look up there, there's boxes of stuff for all the bikes. So if anything happens, we're good to go. We don't have to be worried. Rain tires, because there might have been rain on the weekend. Bridgestone hooks us up with all the best tires, literally new tires every race. So thankful for them guys. We'll head on out. As you can see, this is why we carry so many spare parts. Arnie's bike had a failure, so we're working on that. Got Arnie's bike, Benny's two bikes, one's a Road Glide, one's a Pan Am. They're working on them, literally getting all the perfect setups done for the weekend. Any little setting can be huge. Head over here. This is literally all our tires from the weekend because we have 5 bikes going. So Bridgestone takes them back and takes care of them. Thank God for them. We've got the team, they're all hanging out. We've got a huge team and family here. It's really cool. Everyone gets along and everyone's very close. There's the 2 bikes. We'll be quiet while they're working on them. Every tool in the shed, and Chris. Say hello.
Hey, Carl.
This is our mechanic. He looks after all our shit.
And he
Dad.
Looks, as long as he looks after me.
Tools, everything for all the bikes. It's a little messy right now, it's not usually like this. 51 bike. Colin's bike. Alex. Our Slyfox guy, one of our huge sponsors. That bike, that fast guy. That's it, that's a tour. We'll see you next time.
I tell you what, Jake Masters, the Australian, taking you on a tour of the suburban Sly Fox setup down in the paddock there on the BRL Cribs episode, another one that we put together, give you a little behind-the-scenes peek at just what makes all of this so important. And here they come into the staging area. This is a 3-pack, Kenny. We got the Icon Lightweight Twins, the Andrews Big Twin, and then we've got the DP Brakes FS Cup. If you look in the background, that's Bill Baumberger, owner of Newcastle Harley. He was the presenting sponsor of our Pittsburgh race. Had a big party at his shop. He said, you know what? I am chasing you guys across the country, and I'm telling you right at this moment, not only is he chasing us across the country, he's showing up just like he said.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, the number of Harley-Davidson dealers that showed up today. You know, the Kegel folks were here, you know, local Harley-Davidson dealers. So, yeah, there's a bunch of local Harley-Davidson dealers here. Of course, they're celebrating the anniversary right up the road in Milwaukee today as well.
Yeah, we knew when we were putting this together that the Harley dealers were going to have a chance to come out to these racetracks, and they like to have a good time. When you show up at a place like Blackhawk Farms, you're going to go home, tell all your friends what they missed. Show them that you're coming back again because this place has been amazing. And then when they see the coverage here, they're going to be like, I don't want to miss any of this. I'm going all the way out to Willow Springs. I'm joining these guys at stop number 5 when they start crowning champions.
Yeah, that's the hope of these, right? You know, we're hoping that what happens locally here translates to some more national attendance for sure.
Well, when you're talking about national attendance, obviously one of the things that we enjoy incredibly here is watching guys like Oleg on Corey Cowan's Pan American. That's the Alloy Art Pan American. Till this race this weekend, that bike had been undefeated. Oleg's doing a great job of piloting that machine around, and we're going to see him in action. Again, this is 3 different classes mixed together. So we have technology, the FTRs and the Pan Americans, liquid-cooled, single shock, upside-down forks, massive rotors front and rear on them, a lot of pistons slowing that thing down, and obviously a very aggressive ergo package. They try to get the seat up a bit. They get the handlebars down. There's the Indian FTR. There's one of the Pan Americans. That's Benny Carlson's bike, number 45. That right there is Josh Baird's. That's part of the whole Lloyd's Garage thing. So these FTRs, we got big twins out there. How about a Dyna, Softail, an FXR, or the Indian Chief, which is an air-cooled bike, Hawk Mazzato pilot as well.
These guys are rolling this morning, having a blast watching these guys practice, and you know they have their own paddock area here at Blackhawk Farm, so it was really nice to be able to get over there and meet some of those guys, see the mechanics, take a look at the motorcycles and everything. It's kind of like you know for me, I've been involved in the motorcycle road racing series for a long time, and being able to get up and close to some of these motorcycles. We call these Grand Prix motorcycles. There's so many different things that are changed on them. They're basically Grand Prix bikes. Most all of them are custom built with custom parts. You can get a lot of stuff obviously off the shelf with some of these great aftermarket manufacturers, but basically it's left up to the creativity of the crew chief to figure out how they can make this thing go faster and handle better.
Well, this is the sighting lap right now. So the DP Brakes FS Cup, those are the technology bikes, FTRs and Pan Americans. Then we have the Andrews Big Twins. And the Andrews Big Twin class, that's your Dyna, your Softail, your FXR, and the Indian Chief, as we mentioned, and then the Icon Lightweight Twins. They had the Booney bikes earlier. Then they said, no, we want the Icon Lightweight Twins, XR 1200s. How about Wes Orloff out there on a Buell? Then you have our good buddy. I want to make sure that he's in this class because sometimes Anthony Bagma, this guy is on point right now. Claudio Traversa, Joe Sanderson's going to be out there, Colin Campbell, Cody Gilmore, the motocross star, Robert Parker. Robert Parker has himself in line for a Big Twin Championship. Oleg Piacek, Benny Carlson, Josh Baird, and of course Hawk Mazzato is going to be out there after a strong ride yesterday. They're coming back from their sighting lap. What does that mean? We're getting ready to go racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and don't forget, Hawk just came home with a second place in the previous class as well. So Hawk's warmed up. He's ready to go. Baird's ready to go. Baird did a couple of the Championship Cup Series classes this morning as well. So he's got that thing tuned up, ready to go. He's been really, really strong from practice through qualifying and the races yesterday. So we're ready to go.
So Bagma front row, Josh Baird, and Benny Carlson. I don't think I see, and is Hawk going to have to start from pit lane?
Yeah, which means he's going to have to start after the rest of the field leaves. So, and then your favorite guy, Anthony Bagma, it looks like he did not get out on the warm-up lap, nor did Wes Orloff or Oleg. So those 3 guys will sit out this round.
Well, we're going to see if they had to go to the back round, whatever the program was. There's the hole shot.
Oh. Cody Gilmore with a really nice start there off the inside of row 2.
kind of think that might be bag mount there. I'm going to have to get a better look at it, but I'm not exactly sure how they're going to. And I definitely see Wes Orloff in that mix as well.
Two riders mix it up coming out of turn number 2 there. That goes into turn number 2, one bike off into the wall on the right-hand side. Luckily, looks like he's got up. He's okay. They are going to red flag this race. They're going to stop it before we even get started here. It looks like he just got his handlebars tangled up in the middle of the pack there.
Looks like one of the Suburban XR 1200s, and a tough break.
Yep, so we're going to be under red flag conditions here. Everyone's going to put their hand up, come off pace. They're going to return to the pit road. We're going to put the motorcycle tires back on warmers, all that kind of stuff. This should be a pretty quick cleanup because the rider looked like he was up and okay. He's going to jump over the wall there. And then we just got to take the time to load up that motorcycle. Looks like we're sitting right on the edge of the racetrack, so it's definitely an impact area. We're going to get that motorcycle out of the way and get rolling.
Yeah, obviously we always err on the side of safety, and we'll make sure that everything's fine. They'll get it cleaned up, and we'll have a chance to get a restart. They'll send them back out there. Then we'll have another one of the sport bike races, and we'll come back with our final race of the weekend, the ATU. Josh Baird will be in that, and then he has to go immediately back to the line. As he says, he wants to mix it up with some of the sport bikes out there as well. So it looks like Jake Masters is okay. Colin Cow, I think that was Cody Gilmore that went down. There's Robert Parker. Check that. I'm sorry, it's Claudio Traversa that just came around, and everybody's going to come back on cold pit.
Yeah, everybody's going to come back to cold pit. It looked like they need a few more minutes to get everything put back together over there. I think they may have hit the air fence, so they're going to have to take a few more minutes to get everything back. So you see the pit marshals there going in and sending them back to their paddock area, which is really going to take a long time because they're all the way back to the paddock to the other side of the paddock area. So by the time they all get back over there, it's going to be time to come back to pit road. But this is the decision that they've made. So they're going to send those guys back again. You know, we haven't had much of a look at the area where they're crashed out over there in turn number 2. So, but like I said, they usually have some air fence over there and hay bales and everything. So they may have just disrupted that just enough where they have to take some time to get the safety elements back in place.
Well, a lot of these guys right now are going to take the opportunity to head back, maybe grab a quick drink of water, relax for a moment. But again, here comes the truck to pick up the bike. And for the folks that are at home, you're like, oh, I wish it would. Listen, we would take every second possible to make sure that everybody is safe. So bear with us and see what we can come up with here to make sure that everybody comes back out and we have a nice, solid race. And you know what? I know there's a lot of great guys out there. Let's find out who we missed in the paddock this morning. We could talk to some of these folks now. Roll them, guys. Who do we got?
Hey, Josh Baird here. We're at Blackhawk Farms Raceway in Illinois or Wisconsin. I heard if you overshoot turn 1, you're in Wisconsin, so whatever. Try not to do that today, but having a good time. Did pretty good yesterday. Going to try to learn the track and try to stay a little closer to Benny today, hopefully, and see what today brings.
What's going on? It's Jake Masters here. Round 4. Had a good day yesterday, 4th place. Went back out today, felt good. Found a few more seconds, so hopefully go out and have a good day. Find some more positions if I can and stay up on 2 wheels.
Hey, it's Cody Gilmore here out at Blackhawk Farms Raceway, riding for the Suburban Motors HD team. It's round 4 today. Had a good day yesterday. Looking forward to an awesome sunny day racing. Should be a good crowd. Yesterday they piled in on the Harleys and Indians and packed the pits, so it should be a good time.
Hey folks, Benny Carlson here riding the Sly Fox Suburban Motors Harley Davidson. We're at round 4 Blackhawk Farms in Beloit, Wisconsin, and we got a beautiful track, we got a beautiful day. I think it's going to be a great day for racing here for the BRL, and just excited for round 4. We're going to see how we did. We got a couple good results yesterday in the Suburban Motors Harley Davidson Road Glide and Pan Am are on point, so I'm excited for what the day holds.
Benny Carlson down there, a little bit of the officials discussing some things, and obviously they got the headsets on. Everybody's talking to them, making sure corners cleaned up, bikes off the track, whatever. No debris. They'll check for that, make sure something didn't come off of that bike. It looks like it did a couple somersaults out there.
Yeah, it looked like they just tangled handlebars, and then it just sent him into a crazy tank slapper. And then as soon as that gets to the edge of the racetrack, he just started to tumble. So, but it looked like he was up and okay. So the rider should be okay. We just got to get the debris cleaned up. The motorcycle was right on the edge of the racetrack. Not a good safe place for that. And then it was funny if you notice on that on that interview that Josh Baird did on the number 42, Lloyd's Garage. piece there. He says, you know, if you miss turn 1 and go off into the grass, you're in Wisconsin. The joke there is that literally Wisconsin is on the other side of the street in front of the racetrack here.
We're watching what happens. We see Cody Gilmore comes up the inside. Waiting to see what happened. Bagma. Oh, Bagma looks like he may have got into the side of Gilmore and just
tagged that handlebar.
Sent him tumbling, so that was a tough break. Cody Gilmore, fortunately, was quickly back up onto his feet, and that's what we like to see, get back up on your feet.
Yep, you see that motorcycle right on the edge of the racetrack there, so you just can't leave that there.
So here we are, a little bit of a delay right now, just to make sure that everything's cleaned up in a good way. We were talking earlier with Jeff Zielinski. Now, earlier today, the gang from Icon came out. They're part of the Drag Specialties Parts Unlimited family, and Kurt Walter made the trip down here with Kat, the rest of the crew. They had the Boonie bike race, but what they were really looking at, the helmet, how they work on these riders with the little brace hump on their back, the carbon fiber, they're making lightweight, the shields, they're pinning them now. Yeah. They have tear-off built into them. All the technology that comes from the racetrack is now going over the street.
Yeah.
And I think the best part is we've got more and more and more Harley guys going from a bandana to a full-face Icon carbon fiber helmet. So I think we've done a good job there in letting them know that you could really look cool on a bagger with a full-face helmet.
Yeah, thanks a lot, by the way, for leaving me to announce that whole that whole mini bike race thing by myself. I appreciate that. I'll get you back later on.
Trust me, I'm good like that. Yeah, we had to go back out to the paddock. We had to put the grids together for some of these guys as we were mixing them up. But yeah, everything's good.
Yep, so we got to go to first call for the for the next race here, so we're going to start getting those guys back up. So it looks like they're getting to the end of cleanup over there, so we just want to put everybody on alert out there that they're making first call to get the riders back towards the pre-grid area. Oh, that's fantastic. Here's the actual here's the pit area for all the baggers and all their fans and families and stuff like that. It's a pretty nice little midway there.
Yeah, they did a really nice job of giving us some super flat ground. I mean, obviously, lush grass here. When you're in the Midwest, we had a little bit of precipitation, but they've been kind of dry this year out here. I think it just lushed it all up for us. Rock hard ground, so everyone's able to put a kickstand down. And you see that whole lineup of bikes right there. The Lloyd's Garage crew invited the Indian dealers and folks from Chicago. And we thought, yeah, they're going to come. About 25, 30 of them rode up this morning from Chicago, came across the track, and they made this a destination for them.
Love it.
You know what? We're international, like I said. We got the Canadians. Let's find out what they're up to north of the border.
Perfect.
Hey, what's up? Sam from OG. It's redemption time for us as we are heading into round 4 of the Bagger Racing League. Yesterday we had a bit of a hiccup with some shack mounting, so ended up a little bit, we lost the lead, so that's kind of a bummer. So today, bike is running great. Sam is in, he's fired up. So we're hopefully we'll deliver some good results. So let's go racing, boys.
Welcome to round 4 here at Bagger Racing League, Blackhawk Farms, Illinois. I'm with Legend Suspension, Rob Thiessen, here with the original Garage Moto team. Just finished morning practice, and we're getting ready to race round 4 here at around 1 p.m. this afternoon. So good luck to all the riders out there, and we're hoping to do a podium today.
Hey, what's up, BRL crowd? We're Bridgestone here at Blackhawk Farms. As you can see behind us, we've been working hard getting all the tires ready for our team. So we're helping Suburban, Lloyd's, Alloy Art, and then we also have Original Garage Moto. So we're having a great time out here. Couldn't ask for a better crowd. Teams are doing great, and yeah, come see us.
Well, they're rallying up the crew. They're saying, come on back down and join us, guys. The call's gone out for the BRL to come down and let's get lined back up as they get this beautiful overhead shot of just how spectacular this facility is. 55 years they've been coming here, and not only coming into racing, but they do a lot of sports car, a lot of track days, a lot of different events out here, and they've been incredibly hospitable, the whole crew here at Blackhawk Farms. So if you folks are ever on Route 90 heading out of Chicago, heading towards Sturgis, hop off, come on down, stop at Mustangs, have a burger, then stop by and come check out some action. They always got something going on.
Yeah, there's actually a track day tomorrow. So if you've got a motorcycle, there's a class for you to ride that in here. And we're gonna make the final call here to get everybody up to the grid. So third call for Bagger Racing League riders. Third call. Let's get them back up to the pre-grid.
So we see the riders. They'll be back in the paddock. They're going to make their way back down to the grid. That's going to give them chance to head out onto the track. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have bikes on the track, action galore, and we are round number 4 of the Bagger Racing League from South Beloit, Blackhawk Farms. We'll be back with more after this message.
Amen.
Nelson right out front, dominating the main event.
NFA is the world champion. This stadium's going nuts. Give it up for Rodney Brothers Riders.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
Tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Trans Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
Well, the sighting lap's up. You know what that means? They're out on the track right now. They're coming back down to the front straight. They're going to get re-gridded up, and we're going to launch this again. Let's look at some of the riders we're going to see. Benny Carlson out there, number 945. Check that, number 45. Josh Baird, he rides the 942. Anthony Bagma on the 118. Now, that's somebody, he's had some great rides. I think he was involved a little bit. Cody Gilmore is the rider that was caught up in that. Robert Parker, he's in the big twin class. Oleg Piacek, he is in the DP Brakes FS Cup. Jake Masters, Icon Lightweight Twins. Colin Campbell qualified years ago to come out here and race. Wes Orloff from Harley, Claudio Traversa, Hawk Mazzata, Oleg Pike, Joe Sanderson. So here we are down on the grid. One more time, stop number 4, Bagger Racing League, and these riders, they're all in the attack position.
Yeah, 3 classes combined here to make up this race. There was a little bit of attrition yesterday and this morning, so we combined all three of these classes. Here's our starter. The light will go red and it'll go out, and we are underway here with a great start off pole position for Hawk Mazada.
That was Josh Baird. Benny Carlson on the outside. Here comes the number 1 of Oleg, and then Bagma up the inside, and it looks like Hawk Mazada, if he was able to get off the line, he rides the 121 bike, and we're going to give you an idea if that was him that got that great start in the big twin class.
Masters and Campbell got great launches as well. Benny Carlson there too. Josh Baird got mixed up there 4th or 5th on the start, and then Bagma was 5th off the line. But yeah, as they start to mix it up here, this is turn 3, a really long decreasing radius right-hander.
Well, here they come as we look at the lineup of riders now. They're sorting themselves out on the opening lap. They're going to battle through here. Obviously, we know we're going to see some passes. These are races of attrition. You know, they're a sprint race. See who's done their homework to get their bike moving.
7 laps. 7 laps around this, it's approximately 2-mile race course here in beautiful South Beloit, Illinois. This is one of the faster sections of the racetrack here. They call it the kink. You'll get to almost top gear here as you go through that right-hander. Then it'll push you all the way out to the grass, and then you got to grab a handful of brakes, get back down to 2nd gear here before you pull the trigger onto the front straightaway.
Oleg on the Alloy Art Pan American is in a big battle right now with Anthony Bagna on a Buell. That's probably a 15-year-old bike he's on.
Benny Carlson out front on the 45. Going to try to use some of that local knowledge here to hold on to that lead.
A couple of other riders back there, and I do believe that is Hawk Mazada. Now, he'll be in the big twin class, if I'm not mistaken. He's looks like he's running in a solid position. Oleg on the Alloy Art Pan American. He's riding Corey Cowan's bike this weekend, and Corey, we can't wait to see you back in action. Always one of the favorites here when he comes out, but top 3-4. Benny Carlson is trying to break away from this pack right now, number 45 on the Suburban Pan American.
Yeah, this will be fun, and I think as they gain confidence through this race, the lap times are going to go a little bit faster too. I think that there was a little bit of cleanup there in turn 2 area. These guys are going to start to wick it up here real soon.
I think they're wicking it up right now. The heat, well, that's been a little something unique because, we talked about it before. Carbureted, the humidity, everything would play. These things are tuned. You walk up with a laptop, you do a couple strokes of the keypad, the next thing you know, you're richer, you're leaner, you got more ignition. You never know how crazy it is. Pit signals going out, letting them know that there's some action. Benny Carlson pops up out of that crouch, catches a little bit of wind, drops a knee, and puts that Pan American back into turn number 1.
Yeah, it's hard to see because of the timing of scoring here, but Benny Carlson throws down the fastest lap of the race at 1:16.142 on that motorcycle. It looks like Josh Baird and Oleg Paniak are there as well. Anthony Bagma and Hawk Mazada. It looks like Hawk Mazada stuck back there in what about 5th place?
Yeah, he's in the big twin. And again, we have 3 classes combined, so Icon Lightweight, DP Brakes, FS Cup, and of course the Andrews Big Twin. And we have those 3 classes out there. We'll have 3 separate podiums for them. So Jake Masters, riders like that, we'll see if it's still the lap time, but he may be leading the Icon Lightweight Twin class.
Yep, here you go through. This is a long left-hander. This is 2 different turns here, turns 4 and 5. They'll kind of go under the trees, one of the best areas to watch from here. Really start to get on the gas here, and you lose some radius up to this real fast right-hand turn. It has a slight bank to it, so you can really back the thing in there and get on the gas and rock it out of here.
That's Wes Orloff putting pressure on the Harley Davidson boss, and he's on one of those old, I think that's an XB12 Buell, and he is putting it on right now. And Hawk Mazada, 121 on an Indian Chief. Big air cool, that's a big twin, and he's battling right now with Wes Orloff.
Yeah, Wes got that Buell going, and it was awesome. You could barely see it, but you could see him pulling that wheelie as they get on the gas right before the kink there and laid it in. This is a real fast turn 1.
Wes Orloff takes a peek out behind Hawk Mazada. Didn't have the clean space he wanted, so he tucks back in. I think he's getting ready to reload.
Yeah, you can see from his body language, he's just kind of relaxing, just waiting for the right spot to make that move. I think that Buell's going to have a little bit better brakes on it than the one that Hawk has, but we'll see. It might come down to a little bit of racecraft here. Looks like we're about halfway, so we'll see what he can do with them in the next couple laps.
It looks like Hawk's pretty comfortable himself with the pace right now, and if you're looking at the lap times, he and Orloff are almost identical. Now, in the last lap, Wes was slightly quicker, but he wasn't able to get the pass, and if he has to reload and come back and look at that spot one more time, I have a feeling that Hawk's going to move over. He's going to make an adjustment so that Wes is not going to have the same type of drive he had hoped for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the backside of the track, the Benny Carlson Pan American on the Suburban Harley Davidson receives the halfway marker. Josh Baird, Lloyd's Garage, they've been piling up the BRL hardware this weekend. And on the Alloy Art Pan American, here comes Oleg, and he's putting in a great ride as well. So Pan Americans and the FTR is definitely showing these guys the fast way around.
Yeah, Baird, I was really impressed by Baird. When we first saw him on Friday morning, he was putting down some pretty good lap times. Got even better yesterday during qualifying. And, for a guy that had never been here before, he was going really fast and seemed to master this place very quickly. So watch for him. Looks like he's gaining a little bit of time on Carlson. Carlson a couple tenths faster, but we'll see what he can do here with him in the closing laps. We're just past halfway, so only a couple laps to go.
So Orloff still works on Hawk Mazada, so I'm going to say factory Harley Davidson with Wes Orloff on that Buell, and out front Hawk Mazada. Rider 121, and he's on the Lloyd's Garage Chief. They come back into view, and Orloff closes up one more time on Hawk Mazada. Don't believe he's close enough right now to making a run at him, but he is certainly weighing all the options. He's seeing where this is going to happen. I think he knows he's going to get one shot at this pass.
But and that's it. Is I think that Hawk's got enough knowledge of this place now. He's got enough laps that once you get by him, he's going to have to make it stick, so you better wait.
Hawk Mazada start to make a little bit of run now here at Anthony Bagma. They weren't quicker on that last lap, and again, Orloff was 1/10 quickest. Does he get him to the inside? Hawk's going to, and Orloff does not get it turned. He does not get it tipped in.
And he's in Wisconsin.
He may have just entered the state. So Wes Orloff had a great run there, and we certainly hope he rejoins this competition because he was laying down some quick laps.
Yeah, there's a lot of room out there on the outside of turn one for good reason. You get to top speed here and you get out there. There's just a lot of grass all the way out to the tire wall. But the joke is that, by the time you get that far out of turn number one, we're so close to the border between Wisconsin and Illinois here that once you get that far out, you're actually in Wisconsin and not in Illinois.
Big right-hander for the 45 of Benny Carlson. The white flag is out. Joe Hupp's got to be going crazy right now. The pit board comes out, signaling, letting him go. You are P1 and have a nice, comfortable lead. And Carlson now dips into the 113 range.
Yeah, I think you got to be in the 112, 113 range to be able to control these races here this afternoon.
Yeah, you make a great point right there. And every time they come out to these different tracks, the times start, they're 15, 16s, then they're 14s, then they're 13s, then they're 12s. And you're asking, well, what'd you do to the bike? Nothing. I'm just learning what this track's going to allow me to do.
It's all mental. Yeah, a lot of that is mental, and you get more and more comfortable with where it goes. And this track has a lot of patches on it, which really messes with you mentally because a lot of racetracks, the patches have less grip. That's not the case here. A lot of these patches have a lot of grip, and there's a lot of rubber on them right now. We're near track record speeds for the last 2 days, and the racetrack can't be any better. And so you see these guys going over all these different patches. There's actually a lot of grip on there, and it's pretty smooth, so there's really no change there.
Here comes that big drag race. There is the checkered flag. Benny Carlson in a full tuck. No fist pump? Come on, Benny.
Yeah, a little boring there from Benny Carlson. You think he'd be really pumped to win his home race.
Strong ride right there. Josh Baird, 942. Lloyd's Garage Indian takes second in the DP Brakes FS Cup. And there's the number one. Normally Corey Cowan, today Oleg Payak on board of the Alloy Art Pan American. There's your top three in the DP Brakes. Here comes Bagma behind him. That's the big twin of Hawk Mazada. So Bagman wins the Icon Lightweight Twin. Hawk Mazada Big Twin. Robert Parker takes second place in the Andrews Big Twin class.
I'm going to let you sort out the top three of all those different classes that you guys had out there, that's for sure. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let me sit in on that. We got race number 33 coming up next.
Orloff had a whole bunch of people tucked in behind him, and it was a drag race down to the checkers. I believe that's going to wrap up this race here. This would be our second to last race of the BRL. We're going to take a break. I'm going to head down to the podium. When we come back, we've got a bunch of hardware to hand out, and we'll be ready to go racing with our final race of the day coming up shortly. But coming up next, a podium, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Nelson right out front, dominating the main event.
Is the world champion. This stadium's going nuts. Give it up for Scotty Brothers Ride.
I always looked at him as invincible on the track. He was awesome.
Actually saw his shadow, and I knew it was coming.
A tragic accident that left one of our recent Olympians paralyzed.
Not being able to move anything and realizing, wow, it happened to me.
Trans Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
Rob Bitus down here at the podium at the Bagger Racing League. What a race we just had in the DP Brakes FS Cup. Let's talk to the top three. Finishing in the number 3 spot, like to welcome to the podium as he's been filling in and putting it on the box all day long. Oleg Payek, how you doing, my friend? Tell me how to say your last name.
It's Pionik.
Pionik. Oleg Pionik. I got it right finally.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know what? I just want to take this time to give a shout out to one of our crew, Justin. He worked his ass off all weekend on both bikes. It's actually his 50th birthday. The dude's a stud. He doesn't look a day over 30. So shout out Justin, and thanks for all the work you've put in this weekend and really made the bikes go, and we couldn't do it without you.
Oleg, what you know, you talk about doing it without them. These guys worked all night long. They drove from California, making sure that you had a good quality bike underneath you, and you're really, really paying them back with some great rides.
Yeah, and you know who else we couldn't do it without is all the corner workers. So thank you to all the volunteers, and thank you to all the guys and girls that are manning the corners and really keeping everyone safe. Thank you to ASRA and, of course, BRL. We couldn't do it without you, Rob.
Thank you very much, Oleg. Presenting the third place trophy, our presenting sponsor from Newcastle, one of the top dealers in the world, Bill Baumberger, presenting third place. Josh Baird, step on up here. Josh, the Lloyd's Garage team. I think I should have just sent the trophies to Lloyd's.
That's right. Yeah, we've been having super good luck here with the BRL. Everyone's been awesome, man. The racing's been so much fun. We have so much support with Bridgestone, DP Brakes, Bison Leathers. Everyone that helps me, man. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. Just got off the track, but thank you very much, dude. This is so rad. I love it.
Tell you what, you got one more to go, and then you're going to go out there and mix it up with the sport bike guys.
That's right. Hopefully we'll show them what's up with some American V-twins power.
That's right. Presenting second place, again, our presenting sponsor from Newcastle, Bill Baumberger. And picking up the number one trophy for the day on the Suburban Harley Davidson, Benny Carlson. Benny, congratulations on a great ride.
Yeah, it was good. We got out front for the first one and the second one, so we had a good weekend. We went 1-1 on the Suburban Motors Harley Davidson Drag Specialties Pan America Harley Davidson. So it was good, pretty flawless race. I just love riding this thing. It's just every time I get on it, I'm smiling from ear to ear. So we're happy.
Tell you what, we like keeping you happy and handing out the number one plate one more time. Bill Baumberger, gang. This is the DP Brakes FS Cup. I'd like you all to step up on the podium there. Make sure you get the accolades. We got some great sponsors, some great dealers. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the DP Brakes FS Cup podium. Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. We got another lineup to go, and it's going to be the Andrews Big Twin class. The folks from the Andrews Big Twin class have come out here and done a fantastic job. They've got all the bikes. We'll get these bikes moved up out of the way. We'll get the Big Twins in. Michael, come join me for just a second. The folks from Andrews have been in the business of making power for decades, literally decades.
51 years.
And we joined up with you this year because we said, you know what? We want that quality, that kind of dedication, that kind of tradition to be like the foundation of us. When you guys came on board, we couldn't be prouder, and it seems like everybody stops by your booth to find out what's going on.
Absolutely. We're glad to be a part of this, proud to be part of what you're doing. You do a great job on this. You really put on a good event. We're happy to support the racers and support the sport.
Yesterday, you had the entire Le Mans Corporation here. It was like having your own personal MVP.
It was perfect. Couldn't have been better.
Well, what's going to be better is here, we're going to get these bikes lined up in the Andrews Big Twin class, and the Andrews crew that's going to bring these bikes over, the Big Twin bikes. I need to get these bikes lined up. Then we're going to get the lightweight bikes, so we'll get them up there and get some hardware. But we're going to bring in the Big Twins, and Hawk Mazzata is going to be center stage once again as he picks up a win. Robert Parker in competition for the podium here, and Robert Parker is going to be in the championship hunt, so we're going to find out how this goes. And then Claudio Traversa, we'll get him lined up as well. Folks, we're going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break, and when we come back, we will have the Andrews Big Twin podium.
Hi guys, I'm Steve Chamberlain, and welcome to my race crib. So up here, we got a TV, in case you're sleeping back here. You want to put the live broadcast for BRL up on there, we got that. Put the bike back here, we got spare rotors, some deer antlers, a mirror, because we all know what that's for, you know, for those fun times. Up front, this is just where the magic happens, you know? You can just lean the seat back and things are all good. So out here, so this is the race bike. We just put it up in the rig. We don't bring no trailers here. This ain't no trailer queen. This is a van queen right here. So we're out here, we're racing, we're gonna have some fun. Welcome to my crib.
Rob invite us back there on the podium. This is the Andrews Big Twin class. Claudio Traversa, welcome to the BRL, and you're already on the podium.
It's good to be here. I'm glad to be here with all the excellent racers here. I'm learning a lot. There's some spots to improve, but it's a great time.
It certainly has been a great time. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
The guys from the Two Boss Performance helped me out adjust my suspension in between races, and that improved me a lot. So shout out to them.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to have you here. We'd like to present you with your third place trophy. We have the folks from Andrews here handing out the hardware and picking up the third place in the Andrews Big Twin class. Now, Robert Parker is going to join me on stage here next. And Robert Parker, this was the first time you ever went to a road racetrack, was right here at Blackhawk. You've now traveled the country. It's like a homecoming for you.
It absolutely feels like a homecoming. Yeah, first ever track I was on. First time I was ever on track was also on a Harley back when there wasn't a whole lot of people doing it. So huge thanks to the BRL for putting together a venue where we can go out and race like bikes and really see how we compete.
Robert Parker, a pioneer in Harley racing. You're going to pick up second place here from the Andrews crew. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to thank S&S. They really helped get this bike put together. The guys at Two Boss, they were absolutely huge. I went down on qualifying, and they went back, welded my exhaust together. They're the only reason I'm racing today. Bridgestone for getting tires on my bike. They hooked up a lot better. My fiance, Nicole, my family for coming out. Thanks to everyone who's helped support this.
Robert Parker finishing in the number 2 spot here at the BRL in the Andrews Big Twin class. And now would like to grab the winner who claimed his... Man, you're on the podium all day. Folks, this is Hawk Mazzata. He's on the Lloyd's Garage Indian Chief. That's right, folks, the air-cooled Indian Big Twin. And you brought the bike out here and showed everybody what a magical weapon that thing is.
Yeah, this thing's going to be quite the weapon. For its debut weekend to win both rounds, it's pretty solid. It's a quick little machine. Really excited. We get to go race it at COTA at Moto America a little bit here. So just thanks again to the Lloyd's Garage guys, Tim and Lloyd, Josh and Josh. I've got pretty amazing equipment underneath me, so it makes my job pretty easy. I got some extra seat time on the bagger. So, you know, again, this track is one of the most challenging tracks. There's not much room for error, so it's no joke. So it definitely tests the riders, and it was a good test for me this weekend. Thank you to everyone for coming out. My wife, this little awesome thing here. My son back home waiting. I love you, buddy. All the family back home for supporting me. And Bridgestone for putting the best rubber on for the weekend. Just One Helmets, Bison Leathers. Thank you.
I tell you what, folks, he's got a big list of sponsors because he's been doing this and doing it at a high level. Now presenting you at the number 1 plate, the folks from Andrews. And we've now completed the podium in the Andrews Big Twin class. I'd like to invite all 3 of you to join us on the podium here. Claudio, Robert Parker, I'd like to have you down here on the podium. I understand that getting out there with the crew is a big part of it. And once again, gang, these 3 individuals here, this is the Andrews Big Twin class. A lot of pride up there, and you guys certainly have put in an incredible ride. We have our youngest little BRL member up there as well. Great to have them all here. We've got one more podium to get in the books, and it is going to be the Icon Lightweight Twins, and we'll do that in just a few minutes. So, folks, once again, the Andrews Big Twin class, we're going to send it back for a commercial break, and when we come back, more action from the BRL.
Hi guys, it's Sam Guérin. Welcome to my crib. So this is our trailer. So we put the 2 bikes together here, and we got my suits for the races. So I always bring some spare ones if it rains or if I fall. I got my helmet here with all my protections, the GoPro stuff. Gloves, we got the vise just to work on suspension or stuff that we need to repair. Then we got the fuel, some oil, some parts, some trailer parts, because we're coming from very far away, so we always do blowouts. So we got two spares, a little bit of fairings, a little bit of parts, of hardware. Then we keep the fuel fresh inside. A couple of rags, all by Silver Wax. So that's one of our sponsors that gives us all the product to keep the bike clean. Then we got the pit that we work on the bike. So during the night, we bring the bikes in, and during the day, we work there. So we got all the tools. We try to bring electricity to the tent to have access and charge all the devices. Then we got some posters and stickers for all the fans, so they can come here and get their poster signed. There's the chill zone with the cooler. And then we have the spare bagger that we salvage some parts when we break them on the other one. Thank you, guys.
My man Sam Guerin knows how to have a good time down there, and he took us on a little tour of his crib. Now, up in the booth with us, I brought Luke Leatherman with us. If you're not familiar with the brand Fueling, Jim Fueling started the brand decades ago, changed the world when it came to performance and what is possible with the combustion engine. And then Luke Leatherman took the helms probably close to 20 years ago, I'd have to think now. And the brand Fueling has been a benchmark in the V-twin world. He's up in the booth with us now. Luke, welcome to Blackhawk Farms in round 4.
Well, thank you, Rob, and hello, BRL, baby.
You know, when we talk about what's going on in the world of performance, a couple of years ago, guys were more worried about a big stereo and a massive wheel, and they'd take one of the brakes off the front so you had a better look at the wheel. They'd take the bags and literally put them an inch off the ground, and they'd kind of profile down the road. I was watching videos of you riding to Sturgis years ago on a triple-cylinder, Fueling-built Road Glide with 17-inch wheels. For a minute, people thought you were crazy. Then they found out the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. We were nuts for doing 17-inch wheels, but you know, the performance bagger deal just kind of slid right into our wheelhouse, and you know, we're out showcasing. I should say we were showcasing our cam chest kits. That and virtually everything that's in our engine build out there is available through the Drag Specialties catalog. We've got our cam chest kit, beehive valve springs, you know, the high volume oiling system and such. So, you know, we made sure to offer through Drag Specialties the same stuff that we're running in the race bike.
You know, when you talk about offering it, so if you walk into a dealership, you grab the Fat Book, which is about 1,000 pages of goodness for a V-twin. You start to go through it. There's wheels, there's tires, there's, you know, this, and you come to the fueling section. You have a couple key components that not only extend the life of these bikes, but address a couple of the things like the oil scavenging and things like that. Why don't you tell the folks at home, if they wanted to pick up 2 or 3 real key ingredients to an M8, what Fueling has to offer?
Well, these 4-valve Milwaukee 8s respond very well to a little bolt-in cam. So, you know, without getting too invasive inside these engines, we can look at doing a bolt-in cam, upgrading the oiling system while we're there, because all those pieces and parts are laying out on the bench anyway. So as far as upgrading the oiling system, it's a no-brainer because you've got all the parts and there's no more additional labor to put the stuff in. But the advantage of the oiling system is we're going to increase the oil flow throughout the engine, which is going to help bring the temperature down. We're going to feed more oil up to the top end and, you know, really expand that longevity of the engine.
You know, I got to ask you another question. What about air management, air flow? Have you guys addressed any part of that?
Well, we've got our new, what we call a BA air cleaner, and we've got it, the fitments for bolt-on replacement for the Milwaukee 8s, and then, of course, with the race series going on here, we've made a fitments for the big 70mm throttle bodies, which I do believe is the only fitment out there for it. But we've got a couple options, a couple colors as far as the aluminum and black go, and then we even have some options when it comes to the filter cover.
Watching Steve Chamberlain go through his pre-race withdrawal, he had his eyes closed. I think he was visualizing the start there, going through. I didn't know if he was going to start shadow boxing or anything like that. What we have left here, final race of the day, this is called the Zippers ATU, and this is what we talked about, Kenny, the run what you brung, and you better bring enough.
Yeah, absolutely. This is in the sport bike field, this is what we would call a Grand Prix class. There was a little bit of a delay there because in the last race somebody hit one of the air fences and they had to fix that and move it in place, and get it rolling. So there was a little bit of a delay. The guys were starting to get a little frustrated there. But we're finally underway here. Yeah, the Grand Prix class, the ATU class, sponsored by Zippers. This is going to be a pretty cool class, like you said yesterday, a run which a brung, 4 rows of starters. So I think 11, 12 starters here. This is going to be a great race.
You talk about it being a great race, and Luke, one of the things that's unique is we have some of the riders on the liquid-cooled bikes, some of the air-cooled. There's water-cooled head baggers now. We've seen some of the new CVO 121 with the variable cam timing in it. What's something you're going to look at with that kind of a bike?
Well, we're going to look at the air induction to start with on the new VVT models, and then we're going to dig in and look at some camshafts and some valve train components. So we're pretty familiar with that as it goes, and look for that here shortly.
Well, the sighting lap that's going on right now, and they look around. Everybody's kind of probably running, 40, 50, maybe 60 miles an hour. They've got some different hand signals. They're all waving to the corner workers. That's a big part of the courtesy of road racing. Those are the real unsung heroes. We even heard Josh Baird and a couple of the guys, Oleg, down on the podium, giving them a shout-out. You're standing out there in the heat. You're making sure everybody's safe. Your head's full of radio information. We can't thank them enough for the guys and girls that go above and beyond for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that's happening there, too, is they're getting down into the final corner. So they're letting everyone know, hey, look, when they put their hand up or they kick their foot out, hey, look, I'm off pace here. I'm just getting through this final corner to reset the grid. So there's a lot of courtesies there. But basically, when you raise your hand, you're either waving to somebody, making a bid on an auction item, or you're telling them that you're slowing down. So this is going to be a great final race of the day. You've got Baird and Mazzata there, both out of North Carolina on those Lloyd Performance Indians. This is going to be a fantastic race.
Well, we're attack. It's Alloy Art grabbing the whole shot. Here comes a couple of the baggers up besides Anthony Bagma. Steve Chamberlain gets off to a good start, but tipping it into turn number 1. Looks like Josh Baird may have grabbed the whole shot, number 942 on the Lloyd's Garage Indian. Steve Chamberlain looking for a way around, and he's in behind the 717 Emilio Jamirez out there. Josh Baird, nice jump off the line as he gets tucked in, as he's going to climb underneath the paint. We watch him come down the big eye in the sky, down the back straight, Luke. Coming in and out of these tree lines. Not a lot of shadows out on the track, so that's going to help with visibility.
Hey, beautiful day out there. I will say you were talking about the track workers and the heat, man. Coming from the West Coast, you may call it a dry heat out there, but holy cow, that humidity was something yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it definitely gets your attention. You watch these final 3 riders. They're trying to break away from the pack, but the pack in behind them, they have a whole race of their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the fun thing about racing in general is you may not be the fastest, but you're going to find someone to race. And a lot of these guys, they don't care. I mean, they do care if they win. They do care if they finish first, second, third. But as long as they have a good race, they're going to enjoy themselves and they're going to keep coming back. So, you can find battles all the way back through the field. And as long as everyone can come to the racetrack, have a good time, and have a blast, then you're going to see them. You're going to see them repeat.
Speaking of repeat, right now, Bangma, I should say, is in that number 3 overall spot. Again, we talked about run what you brung. This is a Buell up front. We have the FTR in behind him, a Pan America. So Baird, Payak, and Bangma. Emilio Jamirez is a bagger rider. So is Steve Chamberlain and Craig Braymiller. So the baggers from the Pro Stock, they got the big start, but these lighter bikes are so much applicable. We're looking at 117s from some of these riders. The rest of the crew's in that mid-120s.
Yeah, absolutely. The faster bikes with some of the more performance parts, they're going to run a little bit faster lap time. Down into 17.012 for Baird. He's been getting faster and faster. Some of these guys, they're jumping off of one motorcycle onto another from one race to the other, but Baird's been on the gas the whole weekend. He figured it out really, really quick. They've been dialing the bike in. He hasn't had any issues. He's so mentally, physically, and mechanically, that team is on the mark.
Talked about Josh Baird. I know that right after this race, he's going to have to pick up a Ford, jump up on the same bike, hop back up, because he said, I'm not done. I want to race some of these sport bike guys. I want to see just where we stack up with some of these American V twins.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to give him a ton of time to do that. So we haven't had much of a break all day, so we're actually going to take our time, let him do his podium. We're going to give him a ton of time to get refueled with some water and rehydrate and everything before we get back into the final races of the afternoon. But this number 1 bike is flowing. And Oleg, man, what a weekend Oleg has had.
Yeah, he's one of those riders right now. He's a bit of a hired gun. He was looking for a ride. He had filled in on one of the PM teams, and then he moved over to a couple of the other squads and had some strong rides. And Robbie Lane said, you know what, I'm looking for somebody that I can count on, somebody that I could go to the race with. He's going to take off and he's going to bring my bike home in a solid fight, and Oleg is doing exactly that. Looks like he might have found a little speed out there here in the late stages of this race. We're only on lap number 2. Lap number 3 will be when they come across the line, but his lap times, they're not quite quicker, but he is really on pace. He too is in the 115s.
Yeah, second fastest lap now, 1:15.479 for Oleg behind Baird's 1:15.1. So he's there. He's 2 seconds a lap faster than the guy back in third place, Bangma, and Emilio Jimenez and Bray Miller to round up the top 5 there. Chamberlain and Smock doing a good job just trying to hang on to the back of these guys. But the fact that Oleg is down into the 15s, that's a big deal. Oh, and Baird goes a 15 flat. So these guys are just ratcheting it up.
Yeah, they continue to step it up. I think the pit boards lets them know. And you just have that racer instinct. You can kind of just sense when there's starting to be a little difference in the air around you. Usually when that happens, you step it up. Now, either you step it up and you're able to take advantage, or you blow a corner and it becomes a big mistake.
Yeah, what's cool, I'm loving seeing all the fans against the fence line here. We usually get a pretty good turnout here of racers and families and stuff like that, but how cool is it to see motorcycles line the racetrack in the infield? How cool is it to see, you know, stacks of fans along the fence line here at this beautiful regional racetrack in South Beloit? It's just a blast seeing all these folks here. So welcome here for the first time. We hope you come back for other races this year and next year, whether we have BRL here or not. Just really stoked to see all the fans against the fence lines here.
Well, it is good to see them, and we'd like to think that we were a big part of that. If you look around, many of them are American V Twins, Indians, and Harley Davidsons that came out to Blackhawk Farm halfway through for Josh Baird. Now, if he's smart, he might start kind of conserving a little bit of energy. You know, he knows that he's going to get done. He will have a quick drink, but then he's got to get right back out onto the track. And obviously, you know, guys like Rick Brewer, who are an amazing race steward, are very well aware of this, and we are running an amazingly smooth program this week with so many different races that we were able to fit into this 2-day race weekend.
Yeah, if you look at the lap times of Josh Baird, he backed up his 1:15 flat with another one, a 1:15.070, a 1:15.076. So he's found a nice rhythm right there at 15 flat, and he's just able to just keep laying down one after the other. He's about 6 seconds ahead of Oleg. Oleg, who's found his own rhythm there, but no one's going to match Baird in this GP race.
Ray Miller goes to the inside of Steve Chamberlain, and Steve Chamberlain hands over the position as Ray Miller moves up into the number 5 spot.
It's just so awesome watching baggers on a racetrack, especially here in Wisconsin, because it just looks like they're out for a nice Sunday ride on the streets. It's
Until you looked at their turning 112 lap times, and then, you know, if you're out on the street and you're going to pull up next to one of these bikes with numbers and flat cars and tall suspension, be ready, 600 sport bike guys. It's not your dad's Ultra out there anymore.
Absolutely. These things are very impressive. They're so customized. They look very, very stock in some ways, but there's so much customization behind the scenes. And they certainly don't weigh 1,200 pounds.
No, they're down to in the mid-5s, and they were never 1,200. People say that. They come in about 800 pounds, and that's with every doodad they've ever made for one. Speaking of how this is coming, Luke Leatherman, you were part of the first ever meeting. You were one of the few that didn't say this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. You got on board with it. From that first bike that you sent out under Ben Bostrom to the bike that you have now, what are 3 or 4 of the biggest changes that you made?
Oh, well, it was 4 years ago when we started this. I would say somewhat of a circus, but man, we were low and slow when we first started. You know, we still had the speakers in that thing. You know, Ben could have cranked up the radio if he wanted, but you know, the biggest change would be raising the thing up in the air, big suspension. You got to have a lot of ground clearance, and you know, add some ponies to it. You know, a couple extra ponies sure doesn't help or doesn't hurt the straightaways. And you know, you saw earlier today with those turbos on the Trask monsters. Holy cow, they like that straightaway power, huh?
You know, speaking of that, one of the things that we did, and you know, I know that you probably, because you've been such a road race aficionado, that when we did it, Luke was one of the first guys, and he's always kind of one of these pioneers. He brought a film crew out there. They made an entire movie from the very first race, then they backed it up with a second movie. It's been debuted in California. It's been debuted at the Packard Car Museum. And the crowd that comes, they were the crew that watched On Any Sunday. They were the crew that moved up through. And I'm telling you right now, gang, if you have a chance to see Road to the Corkscrew, and then coming up, it will be the sequel once it's done, you're going to sit at home, not only have a behind-the-scenes look, but a complete understanding of how this is progressing. And I want to say thanks, man. I mean, to take that kind of leadership role, that's big for all of us.
Oh, we appreciate hearing that. It was definitely a lot of work, and big shout out to the crew. They did an amazing job, and you know, something that we did internally, and yeah, big shout out to the boys. They did great.
You know, you talk about it, so we're going to have Baird, Pychek, and Bagna down on the podium. Haven't put that last lap in the books, and it looks like we just did. We just finished it up. Josh Baird picks it up. Oleg Pyek once again down on the podium, and Anthony Bagma does it again. That's going to be the final race of the BRL portion of this. There's still plenty of racing to go out here at Blackhawk, but we're going to head down to the podium. We'll get the hardware handed out, and I think we're going to even have some time for a little bit of the last race. We didn't get the Icon Lightweights in there. We will, but we're going to make it quick with Baird because he's going to head out and battle these sport bike guys.
He's got more races to go. Absolutely, yep. He's a champ.
Kenny, I can't thank you enough for all this. We look at the replay of the start. Everybody diving down in. Baird gets it done, the number one. He gets it tipped in there as well, and here comes the train of baggers trying to run those lightweight Pan Americans and FTRs down. That halfway mark showed Baird had a nice lead over Oleg Pyek. And Anthony Bagma on that Buell comes across the line in the number 3 spot.
Yeah, Baird had it controlled the whole way.
We're going to take a break. We're going down to the podium. When we come back, we'll have a chance to wrap up the BRL live from Blackhawk Farms. I want to thank Luke Leatherman for sitting in and co-commentating. Thanks a lot, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Robert. Thanks for putting this together.
Luke Leatherman hanging out. This is the Drag Specialties BRL. The final race is in the books. We're going to be heading to Willow Springs. Stay with us. We got podiums coming up next.
Transperformance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
We're back live down here on the podium at the BRL. This is the ATU podium, and I'd like to grab Anthony Bagma. Anthony, come on up here. We met this individual down at Pit Raceway. I had to track him down when we got here to hand him his trophy. I think you're in every class out there, and here you are in an unlimited class on a Buell picking up third.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We got the Bruni's Furniture Buell running really good this weekend.
Well, the Bernie's Furniture Buell certainly look good. Congratulations, and thanks so much for being part of the BRL.
Absolutely. It's been great. Thank you.
Anybody you want to give a shout-out besides them?
Greg for building the bike.
There you go. Greg gets a shout-out. Dan Burkus, handing you with the number 3 plate. We're going to slide over here to our friend Oleg, and Oleg has, I think he's ridden from the Alloy Art truck to the podium, the Alloy Art truck to the podium. I mean, you have a path worn in here.
Yeah, unfortunately not to the top step so far, but, you know, we're working to get there.
I know we're about ready to wrap up the show today, and you've had a great weekend here. The crew, obviously, Corey Cowan pumped. Anyone you want to give a shout-out to?
Shout out to my parents for, you know, raising me to be who I am, supporting me, and helping me get here.
Well, Dan Burkus like to hand you a Zippers ATU Performance number 2 spot, and then Josh Baird. Josh, I got to get out of here because you got to go. Is there any racing you won't do?
No, I'll race anything, man. Give me a shot at the card, I'll race it.
Hydroplane, guys, he's ready to go. Hey, great weekend. Thank you so much. We've got your number 1 plate. We're going to make sure you get a chance to get the team photo, but I know you got to keep racing. Let's wrap her up for you.
One thing, anyone who helped me, man, thank you so much. This has been an awesome, awesome ride. Rob for putting this on. It's been great. Let's keep it going.
Josh Baird down here on the podium, the top 3 in the Zippers ATU. Gentlemen, please take to the podium up there. We want to get that great crowd shot because we know that their day is not done yet. For the crew over there, we got another podium that we're going to do as soon as this one wraps up. And I know the folks at home are awful pumped to see the Lloyd's Garage team once again on this top step. The Indian crew and dealerships around the country, hope you pipe this in. And Josh Baird, he's got the tire heaters on. He's going to have to get right back out there in action. And that is the Zippers ATU podium. We've got more important hardware to hand out here. We've got the Icon Lightweight Twins. They've made a great run at it. We got the podium. We've got it dialed in, and we're going to make sure that Josh Baird gets ready to head back out there and defend. As we look around, we know that the day's come to an end. We're here at Blackhawk Farms for round number 4. We want to invite everybody to make sure you participate with us when we make the big drive out to California for Willow Springs. We're going to be there in November. It'll be stop number 5, and we're crowning championships. This is Rob Bitus for Kristen Banks and the entire BRL staff, signing off from Blackhawk Farms in Beloit, Illinois. Round number 4 in the books. We hope you join us for round number 5 in California. Take care, everyone.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.